What's up? What's up? This your boy Levelhead, and this is another Live and Level Gamers podcast. I got the crew in the house, starting with the one and only Captain America. Go ahead.
Yo, what's up, people? Ready to get crack-a-lacking. Ready for a good podcast, for sure.
Also, we have Mr. Mufasa himself. Go ahead.
What up, everybody? What's going on? Like K-Bun said, ready to get it crack-a-lacking. Crack-a-lacking. All right, let me stop.
So, yeah, man, we back. Went on a week's hiatus. We tried to get up this Sunday, but football dominated the situation. I blame it on all of us, but mostly Jedi Knight and K-Bun 20.
Man, it's football Sunday, man. You might not see me another Sunday. You keep playing.
I know. I'm seeing. So I was like, hold up. Put my straw in my little smooth, quality. I don't know what that is. Yeah, we was like, man, we finna start this. Like, man, it's football Sunday, dude. I was like, well, okay, I wanted to watch the games anyway. So anyway, we back. Hopefully D2K jump on here in a little bit. Got a little bit to talk about. Missed a lot. Probably won't cover all of it because we don't try to just talk one thing. We try to move around. So before we get into the conversation for the night, let's go to what we always go to. Well, let's do this first, man. Keith brought up an interesting thing that I guess it would be good for us to talk about. And I'll let Keith kind of introduce it. We could talk about that before we go into what we've been gaming on and kind of get our opinions. Go ahead, Keith. You brought it up. I'm gonna let you set it up.
Are we talking about PewDiePie?
Yeah.
All right. So this week, I think it was this week, PewDiePie had some interesting things to say when he was streaming PUBG. From his heart, he said something deep within himself, and he ended up saying the N-word over to another gamer when they were playing together. And I just wanted to bring up why you think he would say such a thing, and how do you feel about it, and so on and so forth.
Okay, go ahead, K-Ball.
Well, from my point of view, the reason why he says this is because he probably says it all the time. And it's just slipped out doing what he was doing. But I'm going to take the time to quote a Bible scripture, and it says, "Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh." And so what I'm saying is that this is it's slipped out that this is who he really is, but this isn't anything brand new. He probably says this all the time. He just so happened to say it on air. And it's a point where that the people are starting to try to think that it's cool to say, that everyone could just slide it in. It's cool to say. I just watched the video. I don't know if y'all guys seen this crazy video, man. It's a video. I want to make sure I'm using the correct terminology of two dwarfs. Is that the right way to say it? I know midget isn't the right word to use, so I'm trying to use a better word.
Well, terms, so I don't know.
Little people.
I think it's little people.
Little people. But there's a song, and the members of the group name is called Left Cheek and Right Cheek. I'm not making it up. I am dead serious. And it's two little people, but they're two white ladies appropriating the black culture. And I was listening to the song. I'm like, are they dropping the N-word? I'm like, when did they get a free pass? When is that okay? Being a little person to give you a free pass to drop the N-word? Am I missing something here? And I was joking with my wife. I'm like, we haven't gave Eminem a pass yet. So
right.
But yeah, so I think it's something he probably says on a daily. I was playing Madden a while ago, and I was playing the new MUT squads, which allows you to play with two other people in the same game versus three people. And I was playing, and it wasn't a guy I was playing with, but it was a guy that was in the chat, right? And he just came in, just dropping the N-word, just dropping it. And I'm like, hey, bro, can you hold down? Can you hold down with all that, man? I'm not even gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have enough respect not to just drop that in a casual conversation with you, man. Can you chill? And he was, oh man, no, it's cool, man. You must not know me. You must not know me. I'm like, no, I don't know. Can you chill? And so he chilled, whatever. He left, and then he got back on like 2 hours later. And he just got back on. Tom was just saying, "What's up, my end? Hey, my end, blah blah blah." And you know what I'm saying? I muted the dude because I ain't trying to have no conversation. I don't need to start no argument. I don't need to go back and forth with you. That's just why you have the mute button. So I muted the dude, and I let the dudes know who I was talking with in the lobby that I was cool with. That hey, man, I'm letting you know I'm muting your partner. I ain't messing with him. I ain't talking to him. I'm saying I have no conversation with him at all because I don't have to listen to someone do that. And so my idea when I'm understanding, man, is that it's becoming norm, no matter what the culture is, no matter what you are, that it's becoming okay to use that language and say that. And I'm sorry, I don't agree with that.
I'm gonna go. I listened to it, and I know what you're saying, K-Bum. It's becoming a common thing amongst millennials. Some blacks are allowing their Caucasian friends to utilize the N-word in a communal family style way, the way we would use it, accustomed to using it if and when we do use it. But that wasn't how PewDiePie was using it. So
right,
if PewDiePie was using it that way and didn't understand that he couldn't utilize it that way, I would be like, okay, well, he didn't understand that this is across the board unacceptable. Even though you're using it in a brotherly, friend to friend way, and you thought, hey, we close enough, we cool enough, we comfortable enough to where me utilizing this slang that blacks used in an endearing way to one another, yes, we can give him a pass and just give him correction. But PewDiePie, that was venom. Like you said, you use the right scripture. Out of the heart of the mouth, out of the depths of the heart, the mouth speaks. And this ain't the first time PewDiePie has gotten caught up with crossing the lines of edgy racist tendencies and doing things that were considered racial. So he slipped up, but he slipped up because he was comfortable, wasn't paying attention, and his natural way of operating exposed himself on camera. That's what happened.
Yeah.
So you right, you hitting it right on the nail. So no, I mean I hear a lot of people saying him using this word doesn't make him racist. That is true. Using the word doesn't make you racist, but your reason for using the word is what make you racist. What provoked you to say it, and the
right
is what points to the racist, not the racism or harboring prejudice and biases, which we all do in our own magnitudes, but some of us go beyond the pale. So I can't give him no pass on that. And I think he deserves all the call out that he's been getting, all the criticism that he's been. Yeah, backlash. He deserved it. I mean, and why would you even put yourself in that position, having a channel at the magnitude that you have?
The magnitude that he has, like, for real.
Crazy. I wish I did have that type of following and making that type of money. Dude, there ain't no way I would slip up and allow that part of me to come out, but that's you, and you getting comfortable, and your fan base and those around you are, like you said, K-Bump, is allowing him to feel comfortable enough and that he can do that, show that side of himself and not have to worry about that much pushback or it just blow over. I hope it don't blow over. I mean, I honestly don't, because people like that need to be exposed. Go ahead, Keith, if you got something else to want to add to it.
Yeah, I just say my little piece, man. I just, everybody enjoys the black culture. Let's just call it the black culture. They enjoy saying the N-word. They enjoy wearing the J's, and they love looking the part, rapping the songs. But when the trouble come, when the police come, you know what I'm saying? You have that trouble that the black people actually go through. Don't nobody want to be an N-word no more. You know what I'm saying? So he's saying that he's trying to look cool, because you got to understand his audience is a lot of little kids. And like y'all was saying, he reaches a lot of people. And he's making it, I'm not going to say he's making it okay, but he's on that edge, you know, and it's making them want to be on that edge. You know, I don't think I've ever watched any of his content, but I saw this when it came out. But yeah, like, man, y'all pretty much hit the nail on the head, man. It's within him. It is him, you know, and it just came out.
Yeah, right, and that's something that we've seen, you know, and people try to, you know, and I won't spend too much time on this, but you know, we haven't we never talked about Charlesville. Charlottesville. What was that?
Charlottesville.
Yeah, Charlottesville. We never talked about that and how people after the rally came back and said, you know, I was just there. You know, that's not what I really what I really am. You know what I'm saying? But you know, people, you need to, I mean, call it what it is. Be true to it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want to back up once the backlash comes. But if like and say that, you know, and some people use the line, well, I have black friends. Well, I've heard black people that and I've told people before, I'm gonna try to get off this. I'm gonna try to get off it. But I've said before that it's not always the clear and apparent racism that is, it's that hidden underground stuff which is the worst. When it's out in the open, it's cool. You can see it. You know it. You know how to avoid it. But when it's hidden, and it's camouflaged,
it's
when it's covert, man, that's to me, that's the worst.
Yeah.
So I'm done with that.
Yeah, we can move on, but like it was observing. This is a popular gamer on YouTube who, like, again, he didn't use it in a endearing way. He didn't use it to be cool. We got to make that distinction. Like, he wasn't using it to be cool with the dude he was online. He was insulting him. He was using that to provoke what that word used that way is meant to provoke.
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah. So it what if he had said, man, oh, you know, and he slipped up and thought he could, yeah, that's a whole different situation where we can he didn't mean it in a bad way, but he should know not to use that, like Bill Maher did. Well, I didn't get mad at Bill Maher. He should have known not to say it, but he didn't say it in a way that was trying to denigrate black people. He was saying it to make a point, but he shouldn't have said it anyway.
No, he should have said it. Yeah, I agree with that.
Right. So, but let's move on, man. Good topic. Probably need to talk about that. We kind of touched on Charlottesville. I don't know if you was there that podcast.
Yeah, I probably went on there.
Yeah, but you got a chance to get your points. But yeah, this is the Live and Level Gamers podcast. We grown men. We talk about real things. We don't just game. Sometimes we had to go real on you guys. So that y'all know a real take. Not and gaming all the time ain't always what is the immediate conversation. But right now, we finna get to our section, what you been gaming on. I'm going to start with Mr. Keith Norris. What you been gaming on, bro?
Man. All right. So I finally beat Batman Arkham Knight.
What? Man, it's been a while, bro.
What I'm doing is what I'm doing is I'm trying not to buy too many more PC games, and I'm trying to get through some of the games that I've already bought. So I got a backlog. I wish I had my Steam up. I can say what else I got to play. But I also been on that Mario plus Rabbids. I was playing right before we got on the podcast, and I lost and got discouraged. So I'm at the little ice place. I think level 2-8. And all level, you probably know what I'm talking about. Those big dudes with the big ice blocks on their back, and they charge you when you shoot at them. They kept popping up out the ground, and I couldn't do nothing about it. And it was a tornado. Huh?
I haven't made it there yet.
Yeah, made it. Okay.
No, yeah. I'm not that far.
And there was a tornado going around too. So the tornado got me, and these dudes running around. I'm like, I can't do nothing with this. And then the rabbit Peach, her healing ability is not that strong. So, but I think that's it. I mean, I played a few other games, but they're not really anything to talk about. So,
okay. K-Bomb.
Yeah. What I've been gaming on?
Yes, sir.
Well, The majority of my time has been on Madden, as I kind of briefly alluded to the first we were talking about. Madden dropped was that August? Was that mid late August? I've been playing that. I've been playing a mode called MUT, which is called Madden Ultimate Team, and what that is it's very similar to like collecting trading cards. And the way it works in Madden is that these trading cards are actual players in the game, and they have attributes and stuff like that. And you open packs like you would go to the store to buy trading cards. You open packs, and in those packs you have, one rare and a bunch of silvers and stuff like that. And you have the possibility of pulling a really good card or just continue to pull crap. So I've been playing that. The reason why I'm playing that really as heavily as I have been is because there's a mode on the new Madden called Madden Ultimate Team. Not Madden Ultimate Team, sorry. It's called MUT Squads. And what that actually is, that allows, I said before, allows 3 people on one team to face another 3 people on another team. And it's actually really, really fun. And so I get it's a blast to me to be able to do that. And so what it is that one person controls the defense. Well, one person is in charge of all the players for the defense. One person is in control of all. Well, not control. Is responsible for providing all the players for the offense. And then one player is supposed to provide like the uniforms and stuff like that. Each person plays on both sides of the field, but one person is dedicated to calling the defense, and one person is dedicated to calling the offense. And so that's practically how it works. Like I said, I've enjoyed the mess out of it. I've stayed up to 2-3 o'clock in the morning several nights playing it with some other buddies. So I'm definitely getting my money's worth out of the game. I've been playing that, and I've played a little bit of Overwatch, the new season 6. Yeah, season 6 came out about a couple weeks ago. I've been playing that new season, and I played a little bit, sprinkling some Horizon in as that comes. And now my 2K18 is on the way. Gamefly sent it today, and so I'll probably get it sometime Monday or Tuesday, and I'll be gaming on that whenever that drops.
Okay. I guess it's my turn. As far as me, I've been playing that Project Octopath. How you say that fully? Project Octopath something. It's the Square Enix game that they allowed you to download yesterday. I've been playing that, but I haven't played enough of it to really. It's good so far. I'm not a JRPG type of person, so I really don't understand what I'm really doing when I'm in the combat situations. I know what I'm doing, but I don't know I don't know the rhyme and the reason with what I'm doing, if that makes any sense. So I'm attacking, I'm doing what they trained me to do. He's attacking or they're attacking me back, but I really ain't gained the concept because I really don't play those type of turn-based RPGs or whatever type of JRPG it is. But the visuals, the storyline is cool. The little story.
And what game is this again?
Project Octopath.
I think that's how you say it.
I know that's right. I don't know the last part of it. What's the last part?
That's enough.
Oh, that's enough. Okay, yeah, you get it. So I've been playing. I played some of that yesterday. I also been playing that Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battles, and that is really the game that's got me kind of hooked right now, man. I guess I've been really robbing myself of good gaming experiences because these are type of games that I typically would not play. I kept watching the game, kept watching people talk about it, those who was demoing it, playing it, and looking at it, and I was like, you know what, man? I'm gonna give the game a shot. I might like it, I might not like it. I'm not for sure, but I'm gonna try it out. So I bought it and been pleasantly shocked at how addictive it is, and how even though I'm really not doing what I like to do, I like to do, I like platforms, I like jumping and controlling, and literally all I'm doing is telling the AI or the character that I'm doing telling him what to do and they do it. It's cool and I love it. You know, I like it. The strategy that it takes right now, I'm on the third world. I'm in the ghost, whatever the ghost world is. That's where I'm at, and I got my behind handed to me.
You passed me though.
What's that?
You said you haven't made it that far when I was talking about where I was. I haven't even made it to third world yet.
I thought you was talking about another game. Okay, so you talking about Mario Rabbids.
Yeah, I'm still in the second world.
Okay, no, I'm in the third world. I thought you was talking about Batman. I thought you said you beat Batman or something.
I did beat Batman.
Okay, I thought that's what you was referring to.
Okay.
My bad.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's my bad. But I was eating at the same time that I was listening to you, Keith, so I was probably missing parts. But no, man, the game is cool. Right now, I have all the characters except for two. I won't name who those two. You kind of clearly know who they are. If you can look at the silhouettes of the characters, you know which ones is left. But Peach come in like a beast on stage 2, man. I won't ruin it for you, but the boss of stage 2 or world 2 is pretty trill too. I'm learning that, man, the way that you gotta power these guys up, like this power tree, all this is like, I've played games like this, but I really haven't really gotten into the intricacies of powering up your person and what power to choose, when to choose it, and how it's going to help you advance and how to move. Because sometimes you might need to make Mario be able to move more spaces to to flank around people, and you might need Rabbit's Peach. She, like right now, I have her powered up to where she can do 3 side kicks or sweep kicks on 3 different enemies, and different things like that. Or I can make Mario take jumps. Like, there's a whole bunch of ways that you got to go about upgrading and your character, man. And this, like I said, this is a different thing for me. I'm kind of out my element, but I'm enjoying it. So that game has me hooked. I haven't played Splatoon since I bought Mario Rabbids, and basically that's the only thing I've been playing. So that's what I've been gaming on. The Octopath, just to check it out. I'm still not gonna say I'm an RPG type of person, but I can see myself playing it. The storyline is intriguing. The graphics and the art direction is cool. I don't know if I would like that. I don't know how long I would like it, but right now it's definitely eye appealing to the eyes and everything. But yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay.
So I would say if you have a few dollars and you own a Switch and you on the fence with Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, I would say make the plunge and go get it. Still planning on getting that Madden K-Bum. That's actually my brother asked me, did I have it? I was like, no, I still got 17. I haven't gotten 18 yet. So somewhere here in the future, I'm gonna have Madden. I'm gonna have it, man. I have it. So yeah. So let's get it. Keith, I can't do Batman Nights. I got it over there. I'm done with that game, man. Only reason I ain't traded it in because I can't get the money I want for it.
Man, I bought it when it was on sale.
Yes, you bought a game?
He said, "What?" I buy games when they're on sale. Players about getting deals. But I bought it. I think I bought the DLC too. I think I bought the game edition, the game of the year edition, and so I have all of it. And I think I played it for like 5 minutes and haven't played it since.
Yeah, it's something else, man.
I got it, just ain't played it.
Yeah, it's something else. I can't. Excuse me. Let me swallow this big juicy burger. Hold up. Yeah, my wife bought. All right, so
lines from my favorite movie.
My bad, man. You know, hey, we don't be knocking you when you be on here smacking K-Bum.
No. I was saying that you were saying. I thought you were gonna say some lines from my favorite movie. We talking about trying to wash down that juicy burger. That's that Pulp Fiction.
So we got a lot set up for you tonight. Actually, we're going to introduce me and now K-Bomb don't want to do it, but me and Keith has agreed, and we have usurped him. We know we pulled an executive move and made it an executive decision. We're going to introduce a new game to you guys tonight, a little bit later on in the podcast. We're going to need y'all participation to make the game worthwhile. It's sparked out of a conversation that me and my boy K-Bomb was having on Hangout earlier today.
Long conversation.
It was your fault. It wasn't mine. Anyway, so
boy.
So we're going to do that. But there's been so much that we've missed in about a week and a half time because we didn't do last Thursday. We didn't do Sunday. So it's been about almost 2 weeks since we did a podcast. So we didn't talk about No More Heroes, which we won't talk about that particular Nindies event, which we kind of touched on it, but we're going to talk about what just happened. And we're not going to talk about everything that happened in yesterday's Direct. Nintendo had a Direct yesterday. Came out of nowhere. And we got some more coming up because Sony is going to have their press conference at the Tokyo Game Show. And we're going to talk about that as well, I think, on the 19th, right? Is that the 19th of this month or 19th of next month? It's this month, right?
Don't ask me. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm right. If y'all listening in the comments section,
I think I'm right. Listen to this dude.
I believe I'm right. I think it's the 19th of this month. It's not that far away. So we're gonna have that to talk about too. But anyway, we had the Nintendo Direct yesterday. I liked how they didn't spend a whole lot of time on the 3DS. They gave it about a good 8 to 10 minutes. A good little wheel of new content coming, and I'm not even going to deal with it because I don't care about the 3DS. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's all about them Joy-Cons and the Switch for me. So I'm going to move over to the Switch. Nintendo announced a lot of stuff, man. A lot of good stuff, a lot of stuff we already knew about. But I want to go to the one thing that kind of stood out to everybody, and that is Bethesda. Now, before I go there, I know K-Bum did you see the Direct? I don't know if you tuned in or not.
Nah, I ain't watching no Direct.
Okay, you didn't watch it, so ain't no point in me asking you this question. Keith, let me just get your take on the Direct as a whole. You don't have to go into any specifics, but what was your thought about the Direct as a whole?
As a whole, I mean, I guess I'm just a 3DS hater. 8 to 10 minutes, that's still too long for me. I'm sorry. I'm sitting there watching it like, let me go do something else right quick. No, actually, I watched Nia and her crew. They streamed it. I was watching them and let them kind of entertain me. So I thought it was okay. I thought it was a good Direct. Like you said, a lot of surprises. Still some stuff Nintendo avoided to talk about, like their online plans. But as far as like games, I feel like Nintendo is opening up the Switch to be a very complete console, and that single Direct from yesterday kind of showed that and I'm not gonna get specific, but you got almost every genre covered with that Direct. So I'm feeling you, Nintendo. I'm with you. So I would say it was great. I'd say it's great.
Yeah, I agree. I was pleasantly shocked by a lot of the content, some rerun content from the Nindies, I guess Direct or whatever. But I wasn't expecting a lot of the stuff that they talked about. I say it's a solid Direct. Like you said, Keith, it covers a lot of genres. Some games I liked how they, going into a little detail. I liked how they dealt on Xenoblade 2. Is that what it is?
Chronicles 2, yeah.
Is it Xenoblade Chronicles 2?
Yep.
Yeah, I like again, I'm not an RPG type, JRPG type of person. But just watching them talk about it, I thought they did a good job. It looks appealing. It looks good. They went into depth, kind of gave you the storyline, the backdrop of the characters. I thought that was cool. But overall, I would give it a solid effort. I think Nintendo delivered. I think it was a great. I'd say it's even better than what they showed at E3. To be honest with you, it was better than E3's digital event. So, but let's go into the main thing that was talked about, because we know we could talk about Mario, and we're gonna keep talking about Mario Odyssey. Clearly, that's just greatness. That's day one purchase for me. But I want to talk about the game, the thing that shocked me, and I wasn't expecting this. And what does this mean? So, Nintendo had a wheel and it said 2 shooters, and then it came up, and it was Doom, and then they announced Wolfenstein 2. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna front. I'm not a first-person shooter type of fan, so it might have didn't do anything as far as the genre itself. But the power play that was presented there, I missed it. I literally some kind of way did not really pay attention until I saw Wolfenstein, and I didn't know. I was like, "Wait a minute, did that?" And I hit you up on the thing because I didn't see it when it was happening. I went out with my wife. We renovating we are restoring our kitchen, so I had to go look at paints and stuff. Doing the family man. So we out at the hardware store looking at paint. So I'm missing the direct live. So when I got back, he's like, man, and I heard you going off on Hangout, and I was like, man, don't spoil nothing. I haven't watched it. And when I saw Wolfenstein 2, it literally, because I wasn't paying attention, I just set up. And I was watching Doom and wasn't even tripping. But then that Wolfenstein 2 kind of, wait a minute, did that just say Wolfenstein 2? So I set up, and I tried to rewind it, but I couldn't. So I let it finish. And you said Bethesda delivered. And I was like, man. So I went back and I watched it again. I was like, wow. So what does this mean to you that Bethesda has 3 games already announced for the Switch, being Skyrim, now Doom, and an unreleased game that's coming, I guess, day and date with the PlayStation and Xbox version, Wolfenstein 2. I'll let you give your thoughts, and then we go jump to K-Bomb.
All right. One, I think Wolfenstein is coming a little bit later on the Switch. I think it's coming in 2018, a little bit later.
Okay, my bad.
I think, but that's not the point.
It's coming in 2018, so if it's coming out this year for the PlayStation 4, then I was wrong on that. So yeah.
But that's not the point. The point is the game is coming to the Switch. Doom is coming to the Switch. Now, I know people want to say, these Nintendo fans hyping it up, yada, 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 but the landscape is changing. And I think you kind of alluded to it when you were introducing it. The whole power thing is a non-factor, and they're proving it. And we've always felt this way. But yeah, the landscape for these type of games coming on the Switch, and I hope Nintendo fans go out and support it if it's their type of game. And don't get me wrong, don't go out and buy something that you don't want. But I'm definitely I thought about buying Doom when it was first announced on my PC, but I didn't buy it. But I might pick it up for the Switch. But I'm definitely going to pick up Wolfenstein. But like I said, it's definitely changing the landscape. Not only these 2 games, but you also got LA Noire, Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2. Am I missing some? I feel like I'm missing one game. But anyways, I think this is a good telltale sign.
The and the WWE's.
Oh yeah, NBA, WWE. I'm definitely getting 2K18 and FIFA 18. Let's not even talk about that. Let's not talk about FIFA. They get no love over here. But no, I think, like I said, the landscape is changing. I hope this drives more third parties to the Switch if they are already working on games. And hopefully, like I said, just want more games and just go support. I don't know.
Hey, K-Bomb 20.
Yep.
I know you're not.
What you want?
I want to get, coming from an outsider's perspective.
Excuse me, sir.
I'm saying I said an outsider's perspective.
I heard what you said. I'm talking about Mr. Mr. Mufasa over there. Anyway, go ahead, bro.
I was saying, coming from an outsider's perspective, meaning you are not a Switch owner, you are not. So you have a perspective that is not driven by owning a Switch. What is your thoughts about thoughts towards the announcement that Bethesda is bringing these games to the Switch? My
view of it is not driven by the love of Nintendo products. It's just from a different point of view, which is why we try to have other guys on the podcast. But my point of view when it comes to this is that I see it as something that's good for Nintendo. I mean, we've been beating this drum for a long time about third-party support. This has been a thorn in Nintendo's side for a long time, and at some point, Nintendo has to fix it. At some point, you have to ratify the lack of third-party support if you want to continue to be not just successful, but to be the best. So I see this as good things coming. You have one game, which is considered a port. The game came out 2016, something like that with Doom. But it was liked by a lot of people. It was a good reboot of the Doom series. It was a well-made game. From what I've seen, I didn't play it, but I've definitely watched videos of it and seen people play it, and it looked pretty cool. Like when I first was playing, I thought it was Halo. When I first saw people playing it, I saw it on YouTube without no title, and I'm like, wow, that's a different kind of Halo. But I found out it was Doom. I thought it was pretty cool, and so it is cool that they're bringing that over. They're bringing the new Wolfenstein game over to the system, and then the redo of Skyrim. I think that's good.
That's what it was. Skyrim.
Yeah, Skyrim. Yeah, I think that's good, but I still think when we look at third party support, I think 2K has put a better foot forward when it comes to supporting. Actually, Ubisoft has done an outstanding job of putting the best foot forward when supporting the Switch, especially trying to get that launch window. Because that was one of the issues with the Wii U and the other system beforehand, is that you got the same game, but you didn't get it at the same time. And that also hurt sales. And so what I would love to see, for me to say that they're actually putting their full foot forward, is that parity. Same time, same game, as much as you can, releasing at the same time, same price. Outside of that, you still leave room for some of those excuses or those problems. It can be an excuse or a problem depending on which way you look at it. About Nintendo's support of third party or third party support of Nintendo. So once you can remove all those variables and just, instead of comparing apples to oranges, that you compare apples to apples, I think it'll be a better job for Nintendo, and it'll be more welcomed by the community that owns Switches.
Okay, all right. I understand that take. I can see that. As far as me, man, I'm gonna say this. I had recorded a audio for a video that I was gonna put up today, and I didn't do it. I'm still gonna do it, but I didn't do it. And when the title was that the Switch is making it. No, how did I put it? The Switch is making it harder for Nintendo haters. Or Nintendo hate. That's what I said. And I said the Switch is making it hard for Nintendo hate. And I knew the title would, and it was intentional to provoke a certain mindset, because that wasn't how I was coming with it. You would think, oh, he's going to get on here and brag and boast and talk about how great the Switch is and how Nintendo is dominating and they kicking all. That wasn't where I was going with it. It was going to be, it's making it hard because if Bethesda would have just left it at Doom and Skyrim, those are old games, right? if you know my old games. So it's great to get them. It's great to get Skyrim. It's great to get Doom, but Skyrim is a 7-year-old game that's been updated for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One a while ago, for the PC a while ago. Now we're getting it on the Switch. And it is taking advantage of what the Switch offers, the HD rumble, the motion controls, and the touch screen. That's all cool, but like K-Bomb saying, that is not, in many conversations back and forth for him, that is not going to be enough to get me to be interested in the Switch. You know, Doom coming, great game, very powerful. Vulcan used. All this is there, but again, it's an old game that many have already played, had the opportunity to play. So while it's great for Switch owners, again, those who have had access to these games all this time is going to say again, hey, I've been there, done that. Welcome to the party, so to speak. Wolfenstein 2 is what made me pause. Like, wait a minute here. This game ain't out yet. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and Wolfenstein 2 comes up a whole lot. So for Bethesda to not only bring Skyrim and not a watered-down version, but a version running close to parity with the other versions, bringing Doom now, and we starting to see the comparisons, and it's not looking like a super watered-down port. It's actually looking good on the Switch, and now you're bringing Wolfenstein, a game that ain't even out yet, and you're letting it be known that this game is coming to the Switch. Now, this says to me that Bethesda is trying to position itself as the premier third party on the Switch. So it's making it hard, not just for gamers who hate or down talk the Switch, but it's making it harder for developers. That's where I was really going at it. And I kind of said this when I was talking about EA and FIFA and the whole response that they gave by talking about they built an engine from ground up for the Switch, but it was in light of Take-Two Interactive saying that the NBA 2K18 coming to the Switch is the exact same game that is an exact same engine and exact same features that are featured on the PlayStation 4 counterpart and the Xbox One counterpart. And then you see what, like K-Bomb said, with Ubisoft and Rayman plus Rabbids, Mario plus Rabbids, and their effort. It seems like to me, this move by Bethesda is going to put a lot of pressure on the rock stars and other companies to match them, to not allow them, because this is what's going to happen, in my opinion. You have a fan base that hasn't had the opportunity or the privilege or the access to play these games, right? And here's Bethesda not just giving you one game to see how it does. Before the game that they first announced has even been sold or even been available to purchase, they have already announced 3 games. So that means they're committed to whatever. They got 3 games coming, 2 coming this year. And we haven't even seen a sale yet. So, you know, K-Bomb, they ain't even waiting to see what Skyrim do to determine if they're going to put something else on it. Now, again, this can change based on sales, but right now they have seemed to commit outside of any sales numbers for themselves just based on the sales of the Switch alone and the interest and the hype around it. To me, this is going to put pressure on the rock stars, the Activisions, because our fan base, which I'm a part of, is going to show appreciation to Bethesda for Bethesda showing support without needing to see sales. So you can book it that maybe not all these games gonna sell out. I would bet that they would, but you could bet you that these games are gonna do pretty good on the Switch. If Capcom can get what they got with Street Fighter 2, you best believe a Skyrim or a Doom or a Wolfenstein is going to do well. So I believe that third party is getting squeezed, and it's going to force those studios like with LA Noire. We're going to see even more coming from Rockstar because they're not going to allow Bethesda to be out here with these titles alone and having access to all that those potential sales without putting something there to counter it and to kind of put their flag up and say we here too. What do y'all think about that? I'll throw it to Keith first, then I'll come back to you, K-Ball.
Well, first I want to say I think Nintendo is publishing Skyrim, and I don't know the type of deal that they got with Doom and Wolfenstein. They could possibly be publishing those as well. So Bethesda is at no risk if those games flop because they got their money first. But and my phone came back on fast as heck. Okay, I just restarted my phone. Sorry. But yeah, I definitely agree. I think it will be a telltale sign that, especially if like Wolfenstein comes out, even though it's coming out later, and it does like PlayStation 4-esque numbers. And I'm not saying it's going to surpass the PlayStation 4, and I'm not even trying to talk down to the Xbox One because we still got the Xbox One X coming out. But if it does great numbers, this could be a telltale sign that, you know, hey, maybe the Switch is a viable landscape that we can actually make money. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And you may, K-Bone, you may see day and date games come out if they can prove, or if Nintendo fans can prove that they will support these types of games, right? So I definitely agree to what you said, Level.
All right, cool. K-Bone?
Yeah, so the thing is, these companies at the end of the day are about money and about making money. And if they see somebody else making money, they gonna want to make money. So if Bethesda, if Ubisoft, Activision, I still don't think LA Noire is, you know, it's an old, very old game. I don't see that as being an indicator of Switch owners wanting to buy third party. But if these systems, if these developers and publishers are going to make money at the Switch and those games actually sell, you're going to see people saying that, hey, you know, maybe I need to put my game over there. Maybe I can make some money over there on that Nintendo system. And so you should see a lot more of that, of people actually reaching out and you know, not jumping ship, but I think I said in our Hangout chat that you should see more people actually taking that risk, not even in that risk, but including Nintendo system as part of the development. Because you know, a lot of times it's either an afterthought, or they say, no, we really can't do it, or we don't have time to do it, and it's not even considered as part of their development. But if money's going to be made, the big wigs up top are going to say, no, you're going to develop for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox, and the Wii. I'm sorry, and the Switch. And so that hopefully the success of the games will do that.
Okay, right. That's what I'm saying with like, that's why I use not just Bethesda but Take-Two Interactive and their approach. Like, I didn't know. Yeah, I did know that Nintendo is partially funding Skyrim. I failed to mention that, but yeah, you're right on that, Keith. That was a good fact to interject. But with Take-Two, I don't think Nintendo is funding those games. At least I don't think they are. And but to come out, I think I'm echoing in your mic, Keith.
All right, switch it up.
To come out and say, hey, this is not a side thing like they did for the Wii U that I found out. I didn't even know that the Wii U was NBA 2K game was basically the Wii's upgraded with upgraded visuals. They ain't doing us like that. They giving us the PlayStation equivalent feature for feature game, same engine, but just, you know, at the quality that the Switch can render, which is fair. That's you can't, you know, that's a fair offering worthy of purchase. They're doing that for their games. Then you got Bethesda bringing out their games. If these games do what Capcom with Street Fighter 2 did on the Switch, which didn't even deserve, let's just be real, it didn't deserve none of them sales it got, not the magnitude that it sold, over 500 something million, 500 something thousand. it didn't deserve that. That game didn't deserve them sales, but it got it. And we starting to find out that a lot of games that are hitting the Switch are selling at a high ratio on the Switch. Like a lot of these games are selling. The owners of the Switch are buying these games. So if, like you said, K-Bum, they are about money. So that's what I'm saying. LA Noir probably will sell good on the Switch. I would project that it will. It might not sell 1 million, but if it can sell 300,000-400,000, that's pretty good for a 5-6-year-old game. You know what I'm saying? So if Doom can sell that, that's pretty good for.
Yeah, again, I think it's maybe a little bit older than 5, 6. I played it on my PS3.
What game? It was Skyrim.
Yeah, you're right.
I know.
LA Noir. I thought it's about 5 years old.
I actually got that on my PC.
Yeah, my PS3.
Yeah, so if it can move 300,000 to 400,000 units, if Doom can move about 200,000 to 300,000, that's good. And then Wolfenstein could probably move 1 million because it's a new IP. I mean, it's a new game, a new entry into the franchise. Is not something old and dated. This can literally open up, which is the second topic. This can tilt the scale, so to speak, on the position with third party and Nintendo by these two companies, or these three: Ubisoft, Take-Two Interactive, Bethesda, showing strong support within 7 months of the system. It's going to force the Activision and the EAs now, and even the Capcoms who are starting to show up. Even though I feel like they could have offered us something better than the Resident Evil games, they could have gave us Resident Evil 7 if they really wanted to. But anyway, I can't fuss. At least they bringing something. I can see that the scales might be kind of tilting and going to the Xbox. And again, this is not no council war rhetoric. This is just looking at what's going on. The Xbox has kind of been lost in the sauce of Switch hype and Sony sales success. Am I fair to say that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
between the newness and the hype and the popularity of the Switch and the sales dominance of Sony, the Xbox One X is just it's like not even mentioned. It's not even a conversation piece. So again, this could cause third party to see Nintendo's platform and try to ride the wave of the popularity that is gaining, especially in Japan and here in the States, because it's even more, probably by name basis, more popular than the Xbox One at this moment. It ain't more popular than I won't say it's more popular than the PlayStation 4. I would say that it's the hype system of the moment, but PlayStation 4 is clearly the dominant platform, the must-own platform currently of this generation. And I would say Switch is slowly entering into that second position, and maybe PC third. Xbox might be switching, not to be funny, but switching with the Switch. I'll let y'all, dialogue on that and, give your thoughts. But I see as the Switch gains more and more day by day, week by week, month by month attraction, I see less and less commotion around the Xbox. I don't even hear people talking about the Xbox anymore.
The what? Oh, that's
right.
Oh, my bad.
See, there you go. You ain't right. But I don't hear any conversations. Matter of fact, if we do hear any conversation about Xbox, it's mostly negative. Like they just lost. Yeah, they either get laughed at, or they losing the games, or where's the exclusive, or
they did lose another exclusive.
They lost another one?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, they did.
What did they lose?
Let me go back to the Hangout.
It was something
I posted it in our Hangout.
These boys can't win for losing.
No, they can't. So that's my point. Like, the Xbox One X is literally coming in with no buzz, no hype, no game that is is keeping it in the conversation. And now we just saw.
But it was the #1 Xbox pre-order.
Right, but again, we kind of gave that an L too, remember? So
oh yeah.
I can't find what game that is, but yeah, they lost another game, an exclusive. I'll find it in a second. But they're coming into November with literally no buzz. Whereas Nintendo has Mario Odyssey to keep its name relevant, but now they just added Doom. Now they just added Wolfenstein. And you still have Xenoblade Chronicles 2 in December. And you have the DLC for the most popular game of this year so far, Breath of the Wild, coming later. Like, there's something to keep Nintendo name relevant. And Sony is cars. Sony is going to sell regardless because it's Sony. So where, like, that's what I mean. Like, this scale is tilting, man. Like, it's really a changing of the guard taking place here somewhat.
I'll say this though. I'll say this, and it's just to bring us back down just a little bit. I'm just curious, what will Nintendo do to keep that wave going? Because historically, Nintendo has always seemed to have their console seemed to die off like really fast
before the end of the cycle.
Before the end of the cycle, Nintendo seems their console seems to just get cancer, and I'm sorry for anybody who's had family member. I had it anyways. I don't want to be funny, but they just seem to get cancer and just seem to die slow. You know what I mean?
Are you talking about before the council's full life cycle, or are you talking about? Oh yeah, that's a true trend. Now to me, I think it's too early to have that conversation because I don't know. I mean,
but they haven't really talked about anything for next year. I know we got Wolfenstein. I know there's a new Fire Emblem game coming, but beyond that, we don't know if that's coming. We don't know if that's coming. Is that coming next year? Did they say 2018?
They said in development is what the words that they showed.
They said in development, but we supposed to.
It wasn't even in development yet. Was it? Yeah, they just now probably like pre-development, probably even.
No, they said it's in development. They ain't say it was pre-development. It's in development. They just didn't show anything.
But yeah,
so,
ain't nothing to show.
And we, like I said, we don't know what is. I'm pretty sure they have some stuff saved for next year, but I don't know with Nintendo. I don't want to assume something and be disappointed. But I would say, just to be fair, I don't think it's fair at this present time. I would say, with Nintendo having not even seen a holiday season yet, I don't think it's fair for us to already jump past the holidays and ask what they got. We haven't done any other company like that. So why should we do Nintendo like that? Why should they be forced to have to answer questions that we didn't ask of Sony or Microsoft? So only reason I'm saying it because we didn't do them to them two platforms.
But so typically, and I know we need to move on, but typically we don't have to do that with the Sony. Sony will put out big AAA games right before their next console is coming out to their old console. So Microsoft, like you said, they're dead in the water anyways. And Cornelius is funny for Crackdown.
Right, but
so Sony did that when they did God of War 2.
Yeah, I'm saying
came out right before Last of Us. Did the same thing for the PS4.
Right, but what I'm saying is because Nintendo hasn't even seen a year, why are we talking about the end of its cycle?
But because if you have a tendency to do something, it is fair to question that tendency.
No, that's not my. I agree, it is, but I'm saying, why would we start questioning what's going to happen? We don't even know how long the Switch cycle is yet. Why are we questioning it and it ain't even seen a year?
Especially with that computing device that's coming up next week. No.
I'm just saying, to me, I'm saying right now, I want to see what because the Switch hasn't even seen a Christmas holiday season. It's only 7 months old. To me, it's unfair to already be looking out maybe 2 years down the road, questioning what's going to happen then. No, let's stay focused because we didn't do that with Sony. We said, well, what's going to happen when Sony was a few months from his second holiday season? We didn't say, well, what's going to happen in 2017? We didn't do that. We was focused on
because we already knew. every game that they showed was going to be 2017.
But here's
Well,
the thing.
Well,
I
no,
can't
no,
give you
no,
that.
no. I'm referring to the games they showed in
Oh,
2007 and 2014. That's what I'm referring to.
oh, okay, I got what you. So
Because
you
the games are
actually you
already, it's making a joke, because the games are already always 3 years past when they show you. I was making a joke on Sony. Come on, man.
so everything they
Roll
showed us
with
at
me.
lunch, we went. So
Yeah,
everything they showed at lunch, we weren't gonna get to the end.
to the end of the cycle, right? So we
But
don't have to
like
add
No,
I
I'm
to
not
the
said,
doing
beginning.
it. I'm not doing it,
I'm
man.
gonna leave it
I'm not
alone.
doing it.
I'm a agree level. I will agree, but I mean fans do pay attention to these trends. That's all I'm saying. But we ain't got to talk about it. We can talk about it a year from now, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just saying I feel like it's a little too premature to have that conversation. But I will say what's going to happen next year. I'm down for that conversation. What is going to happen next year? What can we expect? That's something Nintendo gonna have to answer, because right now the only thing we know for sure is Kirby and Yoshi. So,
No,
but
Pokemon.
for right now, and Pokemon, well, possible Pokemon. But right now we do know what's immediate. We know what's in front of us for 2017. That's Odyssey. That's Chronicles 2. That's Doom now. And we also know that we got Wolfenstein already slated for next year as well for the Switch. So, and possibly, because Namco said they got some games that they possibly working
Who's
on.
that?
So
What they
maybe
made?
Dragon Ball Fighters,
Oh,
possibly.
but they've already said they've talked about the Switch and Dragon Ball Fighter, but they're saying that they kind of want to see how things goes first, because they said they'll do it.
Yeah, they did. But I was going to say, if you heard, actually, what is that?
It's not
Dragon
Xeno.
Ball.
It's
No,
not
it's
Buddha. It's
Dragon
not
Ball.
Budokai.
What is it, Keith?
What is it?
Which one? The new one, Xenoverse.
Yeah,
Xenoverse
Xenoverse.
did good on the Switch.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Huh? It's already out?
I think so. If I'm not mistaken.
That didn't even
See, this is why we have internet.
Talk on it, man. I read an article that says Xenoverse did good on the Switch. Maybe I was reading something wrong. Let me look that up. But
that
anyway,
writing his own articles over there.
I know I might be up here. Is it out? Active Sin, is it out yet? I see you in the comment section. Is it out yet? That's what I want to know. Just reply.
22nd.
It's out in Japan. How did it do? See, look, that's why you got good people in the comment section that can help the brother out. Look,
yeah, help my brother out. Help him out.
Help level out. He needs help.
Help me.
But anyway, so right now I feel like, looking at what's going on, we know that Sony is in a good place. Sony is doing well, and you can't do nothing but commend Sony. They done what they needed to do, and they have maintained their success. And I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. But between Microsoft and Nintendo, it seems like Nintendo has managed to move into that favorable second position. And it seems like Microsoft is just looking for love, and they just getting it by default because it's a twin. It's a twin console. But how long would that last with the current interest with the Xbox? It's literally selling nothing in Japan, and it's been outsold almost 2-1 in the States. So, we'll see. We'll see. We ain't here to talk about sales. So, but anyway, so yeah, I think right now Bethesda has tilted the scales. I think this should be a sign of green pastures to come for the Switch for those who own it, and possibly even K-Bum down the road. Something might show up that be like, whoa, I didn't expect that for you. So I don't know.
Man, I'm gonna put this out here. I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. I want, and people don't remember, I said this when the Switch was first coming out. Is that I want Nintendo to give me a reason to buy it, and I would go get it. Like I'm not sitting over here not wanting to buy a Switch. If they give me a good enough reason, I will go spend my money, buy that system, and I will play it. And the closest thing to it, and like I said, and I've said it all the way up to Switch being launched, that Zelda had my entire eye. The only problem is I'm already trying to finish 2 long games along with these 2 sports games dropping. So if I did have a Switch, Zelda ain't getting finished until 2018. So that's the only thing stopping me. But if I had like a quicker game, something that I can get in and get out, like an Overwatch, I can jump in for 15, 20 minutes, get a couple games. Not yet, buddy.
It fit the criteria.
Nah, not for me, buddy.
I keep trying to tell them, but we ain't here to act. We got to get to our. Go ahead. Active Sin says something that I kind of said earlier, but I want to repeat. You're right. Bethesda did kind of pour the water on the flame of the whole wait and see nonsense that most third parties do with the Switch. I mean, with Nintendo. By Bethesda announcing 3 games and popular, and one being a game that ain't even out yet for the other 2 companies. It is kind of forcing the hand of the other companies to acquiesce to kind of match it. Like we need to step up to the plate, and then you see Take-Two Interactive doing the same thing. We ain't gonna wait to see. We gonna support you. We gonna give our full support. That is a power. That presents a powerful position when you got Nintendo's first-party IPs alongside prominent third-party IP on the same platform. That's going to be a problem for, how it affects, other companies who can't say the former that they got good first-party. Now, that's something Sony can say, but again, not to throw on Microsoft, but right now that's something Microsoft cannot say. They don't have good first party. And while Sony don't have the amount of IPs first party wise as Nintendo, they have enough quality IPs that make purchasing the PlayStation worthwhile, because you want that Uncharted, you want that God of War, you want those type of games, so you got to go buy that platform. I don't see nothing that you just have to buy first party wise from Microsoft. Nothing. So if them games start showing up on the Switch, I can see the Switch and PlayStation 4 being the 2 purchase platforms. I really can. But anyway,
yeah, I second that. I'll second that. I think the 2 systems to buy is probably, as of right now, is probably the Switch and the PlayStation 4. I will shake hands and totally agree with that.
Right. Okay, so let's move on to this other conversation, man. So we have this new game that we want to present to the chat room that me and Keith kind of worked out after an inspiring conversation between me and my boy K-Bum 20. Now, what had happened was we was talking about, of course, what we was just talking about, and the situation with Bethesda. And I sent K-Bum a text saying, "Is this enough? Is this announcement enough?" And of course, K-Bum's like, "No, they gotta be more than that." And some kind of way that led to a conversation about Nintendo having IPs that you can't find an equivalent anywhere else in gaming that can match it. Meaning, when you see a Mario 3D World type, not 3D World, but a Mario in 3D space, the 3D Mario game, there is not another platformer out there that can stand toe and toe with that platform. And we was talking about Mario Kart. And so I said, name an equivalent game, a game that can stand toe and toe that does what Mario Kart does. And he named Blur, right?
Hold on. That is not how the conversation went.
That is how well, anyway.
But you go ahead. You go ahead and take it there for the sake of this conversation. But that is not.
I might be leaving out some details, but it happened.
Hey, we We are men. We don't give it like that.
Man, go ahead, man. Finish the story, man.
Can't give all the details of the conversation. So anyway, so when we got done talking about, how we disagree with the comparison, a thought came to me like, this could be a good game for the podcast. And it's called Name That. What do we call it? Now That's a Match. That's what we call it. Now That's a Match. Meaning, if I say Uncharted, the basis, the conditions for the game is you have to name a game that is its counterpart, meaning it can stand toe to toe with that game, meaning gameplay, fan liking, like how it's rated, meaning it was a good game, it was rated good, not just from reviewers, but gamers who like the game is a universal game that is recognized as a good game. Like if I say Uncharted, you can say Tomb Raider, and Tomb Raider is everything that Uncharted is, right?
Well, it's actually went the other way. Uncharted was a clone of Tomb Raider, but just with better graphics. So it's actually really the other way. But yeah, you go ahead for the sake of the conversation.
Right, but I'm saying if I say Uncharted, even though I'm leading with Uncharted, you can say Tomb Raider, and that game stands toe and toe with Uncharted. So the game is called That's a Match. So, how we need you guys in the comment section to play this game with us. When I begin to name games, we probably gonna do one game. And I kind of brought it up earlier today.
Oh crap!
I need y'all to name a game that was equally as good, that does the same things, because it can't be a game, and it just can't be the game in the same genre. It literally has to match everything that game did. This game did almost exactly the same stuff, either close to it or better. So that's the criteria for the game. And if you were able to name a title that can match it, we'll give you credit for it. So the game that I want to bring up for Now That's a Match for tonight is Mark of Cree for the PlayStation 2. Mark of Cree.
I gotta look that up.
I don't know if y'all remember that. To me, you remember that. I know you remember K-Von.
Nah, bro, because the PlayStation title to me, I played it.
You never played Mark of Cree?
Nah, I've seen it, but I didn't play it.
Okay, Mark of Cree was, man, I can't believe y'all don't know about this game. So now I got to go get my data. Let me go back.
I'm looking at it. So this looks like, what's that game that they're bringing? Ubisoft is bringing back out.
Assassin's Creed.
No, I wasn't gonna say Assassin's Creed. It's the girl with the monkey and the camera.
Girl with the monkey and the camera.
And the pig. What's the game?
Beyond Good and Evil.
Beyond Good and Evil.
No, it don't play like that. It don't play like that.
It looks like it.
Game, it might you gotta look at the time that was made in. That was made on PlayStation 2 era. So but if you played the game, the controls will put you in the line of the combat system. Is almost like you can tell that like a game like Assassin's Creed heavily borrowed from the combat system of Mark of Cree. Like the way that you counter and all that, when you got if you know anything about Assassin's Creed, you basically like a triangle, and you can counter each each enemy as they come in. You can counter them based on what hand and what angle they come from. You push, you can counter them, and that's kind of how Mark of Cree was. Each button represented a particular enemy. So your X, your square, your triangle, and your circle represented who was in that position from you. So if the person down for you, you block him by pushing O. You block the person to the left of you by pushing triangle, and the person to the right of you by pushing square, like that. And it was pretty dope. And only thing that I didn't like about it didn't have any boss fights. It had horde fights, so you just fought a whole bunch of people until you beat the stage. But What I need in the comment section, in the chat room, I need y'all to name an equivalent game that did what Mark of Cree did, either close to it, on par with it, or even better. That's what I need. I need that's a match.
I can't think of a game that's similar to that type of combat. I was going to say the Arkham games, but that's different. That's more Shadow of Mordor.
Arkham's game is close to it. Yeah, if you play it's like that. Yes, it's got that type of feel to it. Arkham, that'll be a good. That can be a game that's similar to it. Yeah. See, Cornelius Bornax is like Shadow of Colossus. Okay. Arkham series. He said. I ain't gonna say it. He said Assassin's Creed.
I see it.
But he naming games because the combat system of that game is in that family of how that works. So I'm gonna let it go for a little bit longer, see who else tries to answer. Then I'm gonna let K-Bum throw out a game that he might or he muted. I'll let you throw out a game that you want to see if somebody can name that match. That's a match.
Let's see. Y'all want to do what we did earlier and see what they thought? Think about that?
Yes. Go with the one from earlier.
So earlier, and I'm just going to throw this one out there, and y'all can tell me yay or nay. We was comparing Mario Kart and Blur. Now, I never played Blur. Did he drop?
It looked like he did, but he'll probably come back in. There he is.
Yeah, my bad.
No, you good. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, so we was talking about Mario Kart and Blur, and K-Bone was like, okay, so what I think that's what K-Bone was trying to bring out. He said that he can get that he can get the Mario Kart experience by playing. He had the Mario Kart experience playing Blur, that he put over 100 some hours in Blur. I never seen the game, so I pulled it up and looked at it. I was like, that don't look like Mario Kart. And I wasn't just talking about graphics. I was talking about gameplay. And it brought me into my state of Sonic Racing. Not Sonic Racing Advance. Is it Advance? It's whatever that second one was. But it brought me into my state of Sonic Racing. But I don't know if anybody in the comment section has heard of Blur.
Yeah, they actually Cornelius already answered, said nothing. There is no comparison. So we're gonna put it out there. Is there a equivalent? Is there a game that can match what the experience that Mario Kart brings? We need y'all in the comments to chime in. Is there a game out there that can match the battle racing experience that Mario Kart gives you? I need to know this.
Yeah, we got to help K-Bum out so he can get that Mario Kart experience without the Switch.
I got one more after this too, man, that I want to throw that's more modern. Waiting for some more comments.
K-Bum, you got anything?
Talking about no, I mean, Blur is the best competitive racing game that I've ever played, hands down. And that's playing Mario Kart with Level Head in college. And it is still the best battle racing, not racing, but head-to-head racing game that I've ever played.
Battle racing game?
Racing that you race against other people. That's
what I'm talking about. Like we said battle racing, so it's the best battle racing game you ever played. Or are you saying it's just the best racing you ever played? Which one?
I don't know. I don't always say best racing because you have to, because that includes the single player racing games. Because to me, Need for Speed 2 Underground 2 is probably the best racing game I ever played. But if I'm going to talk about in a format of, because in Need for Speed 2 you didn't race against other humans. There was only a single player. In Mario Kart, you can at least race against other people. You don't always have to race against the CPU, you can race against people, and so and that's why I call it the best battle racing, because Blur was okay against CPU, but the most fun that you can actually get 20 people in a lobby all racing against each other, 20 humans all racing against each other, most fun ever, hands down, not even close.
So I'm gonna say this: I played Blur, and I can't argue your opinion on which one is better. I can't do that because it ain't fair for me. That's your opinion. That's your experience. I can't say you're wrong. Blur is not better than Mario Kart as far as the fun that you have with it. But I would say, based on the, now that's a match. I can't say Blur is an equivalent to Mario Kart 8. I mean, to Mario Kart. And I'm gonna go with Insane Gamer. I'm gonna quote what he just said. It said, "There is nothing. The closest anyone got to Mario Kart is Diddy Kong Racing all those years ago." And I can kind of agree to that, because Sonic Racing, even though it was a battle racer that was trying to mimic some of the stuff that Kart did, and is actually made by the same person that made Blur, it was more, like Keith said, in line with Blur than it was Mario Kart. And then you could talk about the one I showed y'all earlier with the Crash Bandicoot kart racing game that came out. That one was trying to be Mario Kart, but it just didn't control as good. It wasn't near as polished as Mario Kart. So I don't think there's a game out there that can stand toe and toe that does what Mario Kart does with Mario Kart. Now, there might be a game out there that is battle racing that you might think is funner than Mario Kart, but I'm saying it got to mirror what Mario Kart does and what Mario Kart brings to the table, because that experience of Blur, and to me, Mario Kart is two different experiences. So that's why I can't compare the two. But I feel what you're saying, K-Bum. It is a battle racing. It borrows a lot of elements from.
But it's also depends on what you focus on that experience. Now, if I'm focusing my experience on purely multiplayer, on the multiplayer aspect, and most of my Mario Kart playing was all multiplayer. And if I'm comparing that to Blur, I believe I can do that comparison, because we're comparing the multiplayer racing to each other, and I absolutely believe that we can make that comparison. And we're talking about the game as a whole, then it's not a fair comparison. But if I'm talking about the aspect of the multiplayer aspect of both racers, I think you can, in fair, compare those two. And you wouldn't be able to compare the ones that I've played, which is I think the last one I played was the one that was double kart. But you would probably look at the newer Mario Karts and its online aspect as compared to the Blur's multiplayer aspect, to see if those elements are something you can compare to each other.
Well, let me ask you this, and I'm gonna let Keith jump in here, because I'm pretty sure he got something he wants to say. I want to ask you this. With what you just said, you have played, and I'm just using something because you schooled me on this, and I just bring it back up because we brought it up earlier. I've never played Overwatch. I've only merely watched it, right? I watched you play it at your crib. I watched it online, and I remember watching Lawbreakers. And to me, I made a statement. I said, this looks like Overwatch. It's like it plays like Overwatch. You was like, nuh-uh, brother. Nuh-uh, partner. That plays nothing like Overwatch. Both are online games. You could compare the online and being able to play with people online, but can we fairly say that they play similar?
We can judge them, but once you judge them online, you'll clearly see that they don't play anything like each other, even online.
Okay, and that's my point with Blur. While you can play online, and you can do, I'm pretty sure you can do similar things in Overwatch that in Lawbreakers. Some of the mechanics are similar, but the experience, the total experience, is absolutely different from Blur to Mario Kart, even though you can shoot projectile, even though you're racing, all that. But the experience that you're having in both games, even though they borrow elements from each other or utilize elements across the board, it's still two completely different experiences. And that's what I'm saying. So it's like apples and oranges, even though it's all fruit. That's how I look at it. It's still apples and oranges, but it is fruit. But I mean, that's my opinion. I ain't gonna sit up and say I'm right, but
yes, you will.
no. So
your boy Keith to do it for you then.
Keith, go ahead, man. What was you finna say before we name another game, man?
He's about to say something. We cut him off.
Yeah, man. I'm right. K-Bum is wrong. You know what? If somebody would come to me and say Crash Team Racing was better than Mario Kart, you just pick a Mario Kart. I couldn't really argue with them. One, because you can't argue their opinion. But I'm just sitting back looking at some of this gameplay. Like there's a lot of things that I think Mario Kart borrowed, and I think I said this earlier. I think a lot of things that Mario Kart borrowed from Crash Team Racing. So I don't want to say Mario Kart is the end all be all, but Blur is not on the level. I'm sorry, it's just not. K-Bum, you can have fun in it all day long. It's the mechanics, and I can just look at it and tell that the mechanics.
The thing is, at the end of the day, though, at the end of the day, we were talking about the thing we play video games for is to have fun. And if you're not having fun playing the video games, you're doing something wrong. And if I can say that this video game was more fun than anything I've ever played, I'm getting the exact enjoyment out of the game that I'm supposed to. And so I understand that you can't measure fun. I understand what you're saying, but I think that's a little misnomer, because that's absolutely is an indicator of a video game is how much fun you actually having playing it, which means fun doesn't equal better graphics, fun doesn't equal better gameplay, fun doesn't equal better story. Fun means fun.
But I wasn't talking about your fun.
Yeah, I was saying, I guess what I was saying, well, go ahead, go and finish what you was going to say.
I wasn't talking about your fun. I was just talking about the comparison to Mario Kart and I was going to say Crash Team, but Blur. And I was just saying that they don't compare mechanically or anything, not just visually or whatever, how much fun you having. I can't say how much fun you having, but I'm saying they don't compare, like from gameplay aspects. They may be in the same genre field or whatever, but they don't play the same. It's kind of like what's that All-Star Battle Royale PlayStation All-Stars or whatever versus Smash Bros. Right. They may look similar and they may have the same idea, I guess, but they don't play the same.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say. I wasn't arguing your fun, because to me, what I played of Blur was fun. I thought Blur was fun, but my argument was it's not a game that you can compare with Kart in what Mario Kart does. It'd be like me saying, well, Mario Kart is like Blur. If you said it, I would say that no, that's not correct. If I was making that argument, I don't know, I can't even put it in my thoughts. But if I was on the Blur side and you said Mario Kart was like Blur, and I was for Blur, I would still say no. You know what I'm saying? To me, Blur is a good game. It was a fun game. I played a little bit of it, a demo of it on a kiosk. I didn't really get into depths on it, but I played enough of it to get a feel for what it does. And it did not put me in the mind of Mario Kart. It actually put me in the mind of Need for Speed with battle racing aspects. It was like Need for Speed with projectile. To me, that's what it felt like. You know, I'm racing through a linear street. Like the streets was like, if you play Mario Kart, the tracks are wide. There's enough room for what it's trying to allow you to do. Whereas in Blur, it's narrow. It's way more linear than Mario Kart. It's way faster than Mario Kart. The way the weapons hit you and slow you up or damage you is totally different than Mario Kart. It's just so many differences that I couldn't compare it. But when Keith said Sonic Racing, I was like, yeah, it is in line. And then when I went and looked it up and saw that the same person who made Blur made Sonic Racing, I was like, well, Keith, you was right on the money. But Anyway, go ahead, K-Mo. You should say something.
Nah, well, I'm actually not gonna argue the point anymore because I think it's a mute point. Even from my perspective, my point of view, because like I said, I still disagree with some of the points you guys made, but I'm not gonna spend time to talk about it because then we're just gonna beat the dead horse. So we'll just continue on with the conversation.
So Keith, go ahead. What you was been saying, then I go to another game. Then we'll hit on this last topic.
You can go ahead. Do your thing.
Okay, so I was thinking, and like I said, I'm gonna do this game. I didn't want to stick with. I want to go. I'm trying to do this and have it more fleshed out the next time we do it. But when we stopped talking earlier today, I thought about 2D Marios, and I was like, is there a 2D Mario game? Is there a 2D game, side-scrolling platformer that does what Mario does, either on par with it, and in some cases better? Could you name a game that does what 2D Mario games do, either matches it or does it better?
If there is one, I've never played it.
I got one, but I want to see if y'all name one. I want to see what the comment section say.
I know what yours is, and I don't know about that.
What's mine?
Raymond.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Oh, go ahead. Hush up, Keith. You don't supposed to be giving it away.
You asked.
You just asked the man.
I know I did. I didn't think he was gonna get it right. I forgot. I kind of said it this morning. But yeah, go ahead, K-Bum. Is there any side scroller 2D game that you feel like does what Mario was doing, either matching it, pound for pound, or actually exceeding it?
So you're gonna ask me about the genre that I absolutely do not play. But
I'm about to block you, man. You see what he said in the comment section. Go ahead.
But if I had to say something about it, the closest successors to it, it's probably would be
that's a
Indies. Indies do a much better job of platforming than the AAA guys do.
Right, but they do a good job of Mario. I don't know if they do a good job of Mario. They do Metro.
Yeah,
but I don't know about Mario.
Yeah, there's some out there, man.
There is clearly some out there.
I mean, some good platformers. I mean that if say I don't fully know them because I've seen some, but I can't tell you offhand because I probably just went past. I've just seen some that were critically acclaimed about how good they were in the platform aspect. But as far as do they hit on every node as Mario did, I couldn't be the one to answer that question for you.
Now let's ask. Let me see. Active Sin got one, and let's see if that's a match. Now, if that's a match. He said Tropical Freeze.
I cannot agree to that. I can't.
Okay, keep making your point. Why you can't agree to that?
I don't think, even though they're doing the same thing, they're jumping, running, and doing things like that. I just think they're two different mechanically sound games. Whereas Mario is like the perfect version of platforming, I guess you can say. Donkey Kong is a little more out of control. The way he moves, especially Tropical Freeze, they actually made it feel like he had weight to it. Oh, that's a good one. I get that in a second. But no, I just don't agree. I just think Donkey Kong and Mario can exist in the same world and be different enough. You don't feel like, oh, I'm playing a Mario clone or I'm playing a Donkey Kong clone. I just think that they're two different types of games. And my favorite one of all time is Super Mario World, which I don't think any 2D game has ever matched as far as like platforming. And not even Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, or 3.
Now, let me, and I see another one down here I'm bring up in a second, but let me interject the one that I said that you said you don't agree with me. Why don't you feel like, and I don't think all Rayman games do, but I do believe after playing Rayman Legend, that Rayman Legend is close. Now, it don't beat Mario, but it's up there. It's up there with the type of platformer Mario does, in my opinion. I mean, the timing that you got to be tight. You can't miss stuff, and then you got the stage kind of collapsing behind you, so you got to stay above it. Like, I think it's close. I really do.
Cloudberry Kingdom.
I mean, go argue your point. That's what I'm saying. Argue your point.
That's my argument. Cloudberry Kingdom. Have you ever played that?
No.
Cloudberry is one of those games you got to be very tight and precise with your movement. I don't know. Every time I look at Raymond, I just always see endless runner. That's what it reminds me of, an endless runner. Even though you controlling it, but I don't know. I don't really think I gave Raymond a big enough chance. But you make your point. Make your point.
I just like I said, I played all the Marios. Mario, the original, Mario 2, which to me, Mario 2 breaks from the platforming in Mario 1 and Mario 3. I don't think 2 is really a Mario game. So I would take 2 out. I don't compare it. It was doing a whole bunch of things that was absolutely, it really wasn't, it didn't even start out being a Mario game. So I think 2 is the departure. You can't add it into the pantheon, into the life that Mario is. You can, but not technically. Mario 1, Mario 2, that was only in Japan. I never played that one. Mario 3, Mario 4 on the Super NES. And then, of course, we go to the N64 and then go to 3D. Then you go back to the new Super Marios. To me, Rayman Legend, and I'm clearly pointing to Rayman Legend, is tight. It requires great timing. You got to stick landings. You just can't. It ain't as tight as Mario. It ain't as demanding as Mario, but it matches a lot of the things Mario does. Maybe not exceeds it, maybe not doesn't outperform Mario, but it does match a lot of what Mario does in a way that even I would say Donkey Kong, like you said, games doesn't. I don't think Donkey Kong makes you stick landings, and it doesn't require you to stick landing. It does take timing, but like Mario was precision. I think some of the stuff with Rayman Legend requires precision. I really do. I really do. So I would say Rayman Legend might not be equal with Mario, but if it's one game out there that will give you that experience where it can kind of scratch that itch, I would say Rayman Legend is one. What about Super Meat Boy? I've never really played it, but I've seen it. You say no, K.
No, Super Meat Boy is more of those. What they call those games? It's a certain type of name. They call it. Super Meat Boy is a super high skill game. It's a super high skill, and it's different than the side scrolling Mario. I wouldn't.
What would you say? I know I've seen some of the stuff that go on in Super Meat Boy.
No,
but it kind of has that template that is the original Mario, though. That's what I would say that.
Yeah, I wouldn't. It's one of those. I forget the name of the game. The game that you get mad at and you yell at the screen about.
A
certain type of game. Yeah, the rage game. It's very similar to that. And it's more online. It has more of the element of the rage games than it does of a Mario.
Mario, he brought.
Then what games came up? Then
the Mario games. It fits more of the rage games than it would Mario.
I'll say this: you mentioned that you never played Super Mario Brothers 2, which is a rage game. That's why it never came out here in the States.
I played Super Mario 2 is that's what I'm saying. It's an aggravating game.
Yeah, because
I never beat Super Mario 2.
Neither have I. And they put some stuff in that game that just make you go crazy, just like Super Meat Boy. But I would say Super Meat Boy kind of remind me of what people do with Mario Maker. They make these impossible stages when you gotta use high skills. And like I said, Cloudberry. If you go look that game up, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Cloudberry. Let me look.
Cloudberry Kingdom. It can't. I saw it on the Wii U. It may be on everything else, but I know for sure it was on the Wii U. Cloudberry Kingdom.
Cloudberry. This is my first time ever hearing of this.
See, that's why this game is good. We get to bring out all these games and bring awareness.
People K-Bomb didn't want to do it, man. I'm like, man, I think it's good.
Because it almost becomes impossible to actually. The reason why I want to do it becomes almost impossible to, because your criteria of how you match it is very subjective.
It is.
And that's one thing you want to do it because it's afraid that, not afraid, but it's how you decide that these games are equal. What is your criteria?
Well,
it's very subjective.
Well, I believe I'm being fair. Like, to me, I can literally compare Tomb Raider to Uncharted. I can compare that game. I can make arguments why both of those games, like Tomb Raider, is everything that Uncharted is, and in some cases better. I think if I said Wave Race, you could say Moto Storm. See what I'm saying? Like it was every bit the counterpart that it might not have been better than Wave Race, but it was a great counterpart to it.
Motorstorm, I thought Motorstorm was, to me, felt like its own. It didn't feel like Wave Race to me.
But it did everything Wave Race does. It was its own, but it did everything. Just like Tomb Raider is its own game, Uncharted is its own game. But what the game is doing is heavily similar to what the other game is doing, even though it carved out its own identity. Wow.
I mean, I personally wouldn't call Uncharted and what's called the same. To me, they're similar. I wouldn't call them the same, but that's my opinion of it. That's why I say it's a good little
that's what I mean.
There's arguments to make that, to make those two. But
yeah, they're similar to me. They're very close to each other.
Yeah, they're similar, but I wouldn't make the comparison. The comparison is absolutely there, but I don't think they're the same.
Yeah, no, they're not the same. No, I'm talking about the key word that I'm pointing to is like what you said is similar. Like to me, Blur and Mario Kart are not even similar. They're not similar, but Uncharted and Tomb Raider are very similar, but not the exact same. No, so I'm saying something that's similar that does what the other game does for the most part, but its own way. That's what my criteria is. But again, okay, I feel what you're saying. I can understand what you. Maybe we need to revise it. This is the first time, but we'll revise it and have a little bit better next time. But I'm looking at this game, Keith, and I've seen this game before. That look like Super Meat Boy. They look more like Super Meat Boy than what Mario is. In the comment section, any game that y'all would love for us to see if there's something that's a match with it.
He said female protagonist versus male protagonist. They just skins to me.
Well, that's how I feel about the that new Uncharted game. That is just female Drake that you're playing with.
Yeah,
right. That's why I haven't bought it. That's why I haven't.
That's why I'm not buying it.
Yeah,
I'm not buying it.
See what I mean? That's exactly. I haven't won it because it's like I already had that experience. I don't need to play that again. But
I don't need to play Uncharted 4 again. Exactly how I feel.
Is there a game out there that can stand in the same shoes as Tekken?
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur feels different than Tekken, man.
It's different. That's different. That's a different feel. What about Dead or Alive?
Oh God, no. God, no.
No.
The counter system makes it absolutely a different game.
Said long.
No, I'm saying that counter system makes it a totally not even close to Tekken. And I'm trying to find because Tekken, what makes Tekken is that not anymore, but it used to be basically a hand-to-hand combat game. No weapons, except for Yoshimitsu. No real projectiles other than Devil and Angel, and Devil Jin, but mostly hand-to-hand kung fu fighting. What
about Virtual Fighter?
What again?
Virtual Fighter.
I think Virtual Fighters would be closer than any other we name.
That's a good point.
You think Virtual Fighter would be closer than Dead or Alive?
Yes, absolutely.
What 100%. About Pokken Tournament?
Go ahead. What'd you say, Keith?
I said, what about Pokken Tournament? The same developers.
No,
never.
Heck no, man. Pokken Tournament. No, heck no. I ain't trying to knock the game, but heck no.
The active said Lost Legacy is superior to Uncharted 4.
Yeah, I saw that. I was just going to bring it up. He had to explain why, man, because he making me interested in it.
Huh?
He making me because I trust his taste, man. He got good taste in games. What makes it superior?
Yeah. I would like to know that because I'm not interested in that game at all, man.
King of Fighters.
King of Fighters, but isn't King of Fighters more?
No,
on the
that's more
lines
like
of,
Street Fighters. That's
yeah,
closer to
Street
Street
Fighters
Fighters.
and like Marvel versus Capcom type stuff, right? Like Guilty Gear and stuff like that, right?
Well, that's 2D fighters, but
Okay, that's King of Fighters 3D.
But King of Fighters is more like if it's close to anything, it'd be close to Street Fighters.
Is it 3D King of Fighters? I thought King of Fighters was 2D.
No, it's 2D. Now they have 3D.
Yeah, it's 2D.
Yeah,
like the other guys.
It's a 2D fighter, but I was just saying, while it is a 2D fighter, it's more like a 2D Street Fighter fighter than a Guilty Gear. It don't play like Guilty Gear, even though Guilty Gear is a 2D fighter. That's what I was saying. But aggregate better story, better villains, relationship of Chloe and how you say that?
Nadine?
Yeah. Is more interesting than Nathan and his made up. Man, I commend I commend you.
That's funny.
I gotta bring you on here, man. I would love to get your take on that because I've been on the fence with it. I've been watching it, but I just haven't seen anything that says go get it. And when I was first seeing it, I was like, I might want to get that, but actually, when I saw actual gameplay, I like, oh, this is just Uncharted with a female. I don't want that.
That's exactly how I felt.
But
I mean, not anything wrong with female-led characters.
No,
it's just that I've already played this game.
Yeah, because I like Tomb Raider. Like I said, if Tomb Raider came out with another game, I'd be on it like day one. But
yeah, and I still need to play that too. That's on my backlog.
Are you gonna
wait? I'm telling you, man. When you play it. When you play Tomb Raider Rise of the Tomb Raider for the PlayStation 4 when it comes out, if it hasn't came out yet, or has it?
What's that?
On the PlayStation,
Tomb Raider for the PlayStation.
I think it came out last year, didn't
it? It has. Yeah, okay, then I'm wrong. But when you do play it, K-Bomb, you will see what I mean when I say it's everything that Uncharted is, and in some aspects, Uncharted 4 borrowed a lot from Tomb Raider, the reboot of Tomb Raider.
I think I bought it. I just haven't played it. Let me see if I bought that game.
You need to play it, man.
Because I think I bought it, but it's in that backlog.
You need to play it, bro. Like and Keith will tell you the shooting is better. The only thing that is not better in Tomb Raider over Uncharted is possibly climbing and the way the story progresses. I think the storyline in Tomb Raider is better than under Uncharted.
Yeah, I did buy it. I bought that game. I have it. It's in my backlog.
You need to play it.
That man said you gotta.
Go ahead, Keith.
I'm sorry. Cornelius is killing me. He said that man got a back force. He don't have a backlog. He got a back force.
Making fun of my backlog.
But I think Tomb Raider's story overall is better. Even though I think Uncharted story is told better, I think where Tomb Raider is taking you is much funner and more interesting than Uncharted story. Even though Uncharted tells the story a lot better than Tomb Raider, but if that makes sense, but
not at all.
I think you're gonna. That didn't make sense.
I'm just messing with you, man. It's all good.
But I think you're gonna be shocked by Tomb Raider, bro. You might be like, Uncharted what? After playing Tomb Raider, I guarantee you might be like that.
I hope it is that good.
It's that good, man. I wouldn't lie to you.
I hope so.
Tomb Raider is way better than. Well, it ain't way better, but it's a lot better.
Thank you. See, you about to start another argument.
But you haven't played it
yet. Yeah, well, way better. I'll take that as better. I'll take that as better. Without even playing, I agree with you. That way better. It's
not way better.
Okay.
Okay, so this was our first. This is our first introduction to Now That's a Match. We will be doing this more as we kind of iron out the kinks. This is our first time. We ain't have it quite worked out. We got to probably dialogue on how the game works. But the next time we present it, we're going to have actual titles that we have the all the details of the title, so we don't have to go searching for it and guessing and mating about it. But yeah, that's a new game we got, man. Now That's a Match. So be looking forward to other times that we play it, and we love the responses and the interaction of the comment section. And but we gonna have to end this, man. Any final words before we get out of here?
Shout out to Jamila Hill. Is it Jamila Hill?
Jamila Hill. Yeah.
Jamil.
Shout out to her for standing her ground, for not backtracking on her tweet that she tweeted out.
Right.
She apologized on behalf of ESPN because that's her employer, but she stood firm on what she said and believed. So shout out to her.
I like the fact that ESPN allowed her to stand her ground and didn't allow the pressure of media and those who were upset pressure them into doing what they wanted them to do. They wanted her to get fired. It's like
the secretary said that. The secretary, I think Huckabee, the press secretary, said this is a fireable offense. That was her words.
Yeah, but they didn't fire, so that's good. I commend ESPN for not, allow her to have her opinion, because it's her right to have it. So
right, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that. K-Ball 20.
Oh, whoa, okay, that just happened. Just lost this Madden game. No, man, for sure, man. No, I had fun, man. Enjoyed it. Last words. Okay.
I like that.
Last words. I don't have any last word other than stay black and proud. I don't know. Most of y'all ain't black though, but but that's the saying, right? Stay black.
Not black on the end of the not
stay
black.
That's the saying, right?
Hey Keith, check this out, Keith. Cornelius said it should be called equivalency.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's not too bad. Now that's a match equivalency. We'll see, bro. We still working it out, but y'all kind of get the concept of the game. And don't be stealing our stuff. All right, y'all out there. Don't be borrowing our ideas. Come on there and listen to y'all. Be like, yeah, man, we got this new game called Game and Life or something. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, but yeah, we appreciate all the crowd, all the participation in the comment section. This has been the Live and Level Gamers podcast. Keep it safe, keep it gaming, keep it blissful. Till next time, folks. Deuces.